On the post-poll violence issue, the Calcutta High Court has handed over the probe to the CBI. So that's the latest coming in. Remember, this was a verdict awaited today on what the Calcutta High Court observes on the petitions that have alleged post-poll violence. Let's listen in to my colleague Suman Bala Sahoo reporting on this.
जहां तक सीबीआई का मुद्दा था कि सीबीआई इसको प्रोब करेगी कि नहीं, उस मुद्दे पे सब सहमत है कि राज्य से ये पूरा जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन का जो दायित्व है इसको सीबीआई को सौंपा जाए। और उसका मुख्य कारण यही है क्योंकि पुलिस का जो भूमिका है उसके ऊपर बहुत सारे सवाल उठाए गए।
Okay, Tamal is reporting on the current situation with the Calcutta High Court now making a clear decision to hand over the probe to the CBI. An SIT constituted consisting of IPS officers of West Bengal. It will be a court-monitored probe.
फाइंडिंग्स थी उस पे सवाल उठाया स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने कहा कि एनएचआरसी की जो फाइंडिंग्स है उसको हम लोग नहीं मानते हैं क्योंकि एनएचआरसी एक पॉलिटिकली मोटिवेटेड प्रोब किया है। एनएचआरसी
So the order from the Calcutta High Court says that the West Bengal government is now directed to immediately process applications for compensation to victims. CBI and SIT directed to submit status report within 6 weeks. The order also says that the SIT will be constituted consisting of IPS officers of West Bengal. It will be a court-monitored probe. So this is what the outcome of the hearing in Calcutta High Court on West Bengal post-poll violence, where the bench has said that CBI should be handed over with the investigation. Well, we just heard Tamal saying that NHRC has made its submissions indicting the West Bengal government for turning a blind eye to the violence that took place, where there was what the petitioners called retributive violence to get back at those people who acted against the TMC before the elections. To this, the NHRC observed, saying that the state government turned a blind eye, the police was derelict if not complicit. However, like Tamal was saying, there's also this view that NHRC has not acted impartially. TMC does not give credence to the NHRC report, which has said that the situation is law of ruler, not rule of law. The NHRC report submitted to the Calcutta High Court that there was fear among the victims against the ruling party and there were several offences committed, including sexual harassment. Calling the state government's behaviour apathetic, it says it's appalling apathy of the government towards the plight of the victims, loss of faith in the state administration among victims, also saying that violence invoked no empathy in the administration. However, the TMC dismisses this NHRC report as politically motivated. What Tamal was telling us is that the NHRC report is not given any weightage by the current state government, saying that they have acted at the behest of the centre. The Calcutta High Court has now handed over the probe to the CBI. CBI and SIT directed to submit status report within 6 weeks' time. West Bengal government also directed to immediately process applications for compensation to the victims of the post-poll violence. Calcutta High Court has delivered its verdict on a bunch of petitions alleging post-poll violence in West Bengal. A 5-member bench of the High Court had earlier reserved its verdict on the matter on the 3rd of August. A number of petitioners had moved the High Court earlier this year, alleging widespread post-poll violence in the state of West Bengal after the Trinamool Congress returned to power on the 2nd of May. The NHRC had also formed a panel and submitted a report indicting Mamata Banerjee government. The report said it was retributive violence and there was appalling apathy on the part of the government against the victims. So the petitioners sought an impartial probe into the post-poll violence. The bench had ordered the NHRC to constitute an inquiry panel.
and other cases of absolute gruesomeness will all be handed over to CBI. That's number one. Number two, the state government has been directed to hand over all their findings to the CBI without any delay. Number three, as far as the special investigation team is concerned, that too has been constituted. Minded, it's a court-monitored special investigation team. Who all will be there in the special investigation team? All police officers who belong to the Bengal cadet, which means not officers from outside would come and be part of the special investigation team, but the rider is, it would be a court-monitored special investigation team. Number four, the state government has to compensate all the victims. And number five, each and every incident that the NHRC had suggested in a way has found the endorsement of the court. Minded, here it can be seen as a major setback for Mamata Banerjee government. Why? Because Mamata Banerjee's government from day one suggested there has not been a single incident of post-poll violence from 5th May onwards. 5th May is the day when Mamata Banerjee had sworn in as the Chief Minister for the third consecutive time. Her government maintained that after the government was formed, there has not been any single incident of post-poll violence. But NHRC findings suggested there had been incidents of violence even after the government was formed. And the very important point which comes to the light, very little trust the court has bestowed on the state law and order machinery. That's the state police. Why? Because the state had argued, because law and order is a state subject, if there are incidents, they should be probed by the police. Something that NHRC and the petitioners had contested. Petitioners have suggested that the police apathy had been at the crux of every injustice meted out to the victims. NHRC report had also documented as how police had neglected cases, even refused to take complaints, register FIRs. And that is why now when the court, the larger bench, unanimously decided that the matter should be handed over to CBI, it only goes on to highlight, as far as the state police role is concerned, that has been under the scanner, has also found the endorsement of the Calcutta High Court larger bench. Trinamool Congress says they are unhappy with the order. Trinamool Congress says they might move to the Supreme Court. But at this juncture, the NHRC findings that the state government had called politically motivated has found a thumbs up from the court, and basically the claims made by the state government has found a thumbs down from the court.
Okay, Tamal reporting from Kolkata on the Calcutta High Court's verdict on the post-poll violence in West Bengal after the TMC returned to power in May this year. We'll take a short break here. News and updates continue on the other side. Stay with us.